Okay. Does this lead to Impsy? What's up, Dark Pulse? I'm not entirely sure what that refers to, although I have a guess. But no, this sticks with Doom's original rating. Thank you, Bussy. What's up, man? All right. I'm actually like literally just getting started right now, so I haven't done anything. But I've had some ideas. I guess the original Doom was originally unrated, but I feel like even the box copy of Doom 2 had that really primitive version of the video game ratings, the one that looked like a little thermometer. Wasn't that on the box of Doom 2? First commercial release of Doom in retail shelves. But yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I want to change the geometry a little bit to imply that there's areas outside of the map. So I think in this rare circumstance, I'm going to kind of change what this is a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out the way that I want to accomplish that. I'm going to keep the shape the same, but I'm going to draw some stuff beyond this. So I'm just kind of figuring out. I'm just kind of thinking about it. It's kind of how mapping starts for me. It's a lot of like sitting and staring at the screen. I just don't elucidate my thoughts out loud most of the time. What the heck? What's up, Sandwich? This isn't going to be the most exciting stream of all time, but just want a chill hangout, then we can do that instead. So how far out does this go? This goes 91. This is pointless. It's 52. Yeah, these are all odd line def links. 64, that's probably fine. Kind of want to bring it in a little bit. Shadesman, what's up? Mapping stream, yeah. I'm just going to keep it nice and chill, do a little bit of detailing on this map that a couple of my partners in crime took care of the geometry and the thing placement. I'm drawing up the rear with the detailing phase. Seems originally had no rating period. The RSAC, by the way. The RSAC, I'm always thinking of the RSAC. But yeah, what this is like to entail, at least until I get a little bit warmed up, is just a lot of contemplative staring at the screen. So if that's your speed, then you've come to the right place. And if you're looking for somebody who's going to kill a bunch of monsters, then I have some bad news for you. I want to keep this Cyber Demon placement intact, but I kind of want to manipulate the closet a little bit. I'm just not entirely sure how I want to do it. What song is this? This is The Greater Good by Stu Boy. Okay. Oop. 48. That doesn't really matter how thick this wall is. All right, let me just maybe start with the frame of the outside area, then I can design other stuff around it. So I know I want some sky in the background. Would this look better as like a big window, or would it look better if the top of the wall was open? I want to start with making it a big window and see how that looks, because that could look neat. But I do want to bring it up a little bit so it's higher up. And then I'm just going to make this a generic rock texture for the time being. I have an idea of kind of what I want to do, but I'm not sure if it's going to look good yet. Death Stranding 2 was just announced. Yeah, I watched that video when I needed a quick mental break from work, and I watched the trailer, and it's fucking bizarre. If you're not sure, just watch it until like all the way to like 2/3 of the way through the trailer, where it gets ridiculous, and it's pretty interesting. Oh, wait a minute. What are these rock textures in this set called? I don't know all the texture names, so it's making searching a little bit tricky as I get used to them all. Let me see. Okay. I'll just start with rock 10. Oh, this needs to be open. Why does it... I don't know why the music transitions so abruptly like that. I bring this down. Where's the swastika exit texture? Yeah, you can play Clippy's box swat if you want that kind of stuff. Sorry to disappoint. Then this layer will be... Let me see. Okay, I think... No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right, this is rock. This is tree. Is there... Wait, I didn't actually even see if there was a good bush texture or tree texture. I could be rethinking this real quick if there's not one. Oh, here we go. Oh, these are called Zimmer. Interesting. This one's probably too much detail, maybe? Maybe not. That's real basic, but it's kind of a start. Oh yeah, that could look pretty cool. How do you like your bush texture? I like it full and detailed, highly detailed. Oh, this could make for a cool secret. Bristly. I like it to just cut my skin a little bit. Alright. I think what I'm going to do with the Cyber Demon is I'm going to figure out a way to slightly like rethink the I'm going to keep the concept the same in terms of what happens, but I think I'm just going to move it off to the side for the time being and then consider a way to make it work with this detailing in a little bit. Just to get it out of the way. It is a little bit hard to detail with stuff already there, but it's cool. Make it work. Oh, we played Lover's Quarrel on your stream. Zimmer is the material they put outside of tanks, like camouflage, basically? Is that basically implying that, or is the naming the texture Zimmer then implying that it's camouflage? I think I want this monster closet to be an outside area. But I don't want it to connect to this one. Maybe if I kind of set this up to almost be like a gate of some kind. Yeah, Sandwich. We did Deathmatch, and then I think we found out after we played it, because we were confused about why there was only like 14 maps that kept repeating. Didn't we find out that Doomkid accidentally had some weird setting on his server that like didn't play the full list of maps? I think it only played half of them for some reason. Because I think the Puss guys were a little bit disappointed that we didn't play all the maps. Okay. I'm slowly bringing this together. I'm kind of getting an idea of what I want to do with this. I think go ahead and make this 2. Okay. I kind of think I need to figure out what wall this is. Just start with this one for now. Oops. Oh, the Puss guys put lots of bush in their maps. Oh, Sandwich, did you play the like single player components of the Puss, the Lover's Quarrel? What do we think about pink stair trim? It might work. Not totally sure. All right. I did have some ideas about the stairs too. Here's another way that I kind of do this is, you know, very clearly I was just thinking about the outside a moment ago, and now I'm over here like working on the stairs. If I just kind of feel the urge to go work on something else for a while, I just kind of focus my creative efforts on that and just go with the flow, because unless I'm like at risk of losing an idea or something like that, I don't think that my creative efforts are wasted if they're doing something at all. So that's kind of how we do it around here. Yeah, that's kind of neat. I need to figure out a way to make this nice and even. Well-made maps, nice assets. Yeah, so Beetbeard, we played Lover's Quarrel, the deathmatch components first on Sandwich's stream. I think it was right around Valentine's Day last year. And it was a lot of fun. The deathmatch maps were very charming, and they were well detailed, and they were good maps for deathmatch perspective too. All right, let's do this. I think, okay, with this line, you know what? I'm going to draw a straight line here. I'm going to merge this sector and this sector. This is going to be a little weird. And then let's align the grid to this. Is this the way I want to do it? I think so. Whoa, shit. Wait, what was the dimensions of this box? 32, kind of 32 and 32. Kind of. Not really. Okay. Delete this. Delete. Oh shit, I'm killing it. It doesn't like this. Can I get away with this? Can I do this? Okay, and that's a straight line. And now... bring this to here. Now this becomes this. Whoops. Does that look right? That's not going to look right. That might look okay. Let me see what it looks like with the trim on it. An angled grid. Zen Solipsist, welcome. I find mastering software to be joy and watching Doom Builder builds is fun. Well, I didn't know that I was scratching an itch that was out there, but I'm happy to oblige. Welcome. I was mostly just kind of doing this for experimentation purposes, and but it seems like it's got some interest in it. And yes, the angled grid, you have to bind it in the options menu. Did I do that right? I didn't merge that right. That doesn't look right. Maybe it is. I feel like I lost my angle here. Hold on a second. I'm getting a little distracted, but this angle doesn't match. What did I do? Okay, I need to back up a few steps. Yeah, you have to bind it in the options menu, but if you select the line def and then you hit the button to rotate the grid, it aligns it along to whatever line def you have selected, so you can always draw perpendicular lines on that line def or whatever else you want to do. Okay, back to this way. Now let's see. I'm going to start out by drawing that diagonal, and then I'm going to merge this and this. And... all right. So I want a 45-degree angle from this. And I want a 45-degree angle from this. And oh, I just broke it again. All right, how can I do this without breaking it? Come on, you can do this. You can do this. Okay, it's throwing an absolute fit right now. Hold on a second. There's another way to do this. All right, now that I have this aligned on the grid, I can draw a square outside of the grid, and I can get a 45-degree angle like this, and I can get a 45-degree angle like this. and then I can just copy and paste it over into the sector. And I'll need to jiggle some of these vertices around, but I think I can make this work. Hold on a second. Come on. Just behave for a minute. If you squint, it almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, never make that mistake. Anybody who thinks I know what I'm doing has clearly not been paying any attention. Alright, it keeps getting really mad because of the these vertexes are not showing up where it needs to go. Let's see. Alright. This is such a weird way of doing it. I have no idea if this is like kosher or not, for lack of a better phrasing, but I'm going to go with it. All right, now I can just delete these, and I can merge up all these sectors and start drawing my trim. Yeah, I guess I wound up with 45-degree angles. Perfect. All right, now I got to get all these on to the grid. So let's reset the grid and then come back this way. Maybe that looks okay. That is such a minute detail. Yeah, there is a diminishing return to just obsessing over detail incessantly. You eventually have to call it quits. That's a much easier way to get a 45-degree angle. Why did I do it the other way in the first place? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I think that looks pretty interesting. Wait a minute, but I want... Let me merge this. I want this to be... There we go. Like this. Oh, why is that one-sided? The problem is when you start manipulating the grid excessively like this, unless you're in UDMF format, it can break the node builder like easily. All right, yeah, I mostly figured out the flow for doing it this way, so there we go. Oh, again. And now I don't have to, I can unrotate it. There's my hotkey. Zoop. Cool. Now I got to get the trim. Okay, last night Large Cat made a comment that I didn't quite pick up on when he said it, but he mentioned trim by stair builder. I never really thought of using the stair builder to trim floors before, but that makes me wonder. So I would need to select the lines. How would that work exactly? And I need it to inset. Can I have the sector depth as negative? I can do 16, And then the other way. I might not, this might prove to be fruitless. I don't know if this is going to amount to anything. But I'm trying to understand. I think I kind of understood what he was talking about. Large cat, yeah. He was in this stream last night and we were chatting about it. I kind of crossed paths with him on Clippy's Party Garage project. And he also ran the Limit Buffet project recently, which was a very interesting project where the mappers, each map and the MIDI for each map had a very distinct set of very restrictive parameters that the creator had to work within. And you signed up for the one based on which constraints you were, I guess, most attracted to. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this. This might not be worth it. Like, in the amount of time I can spend doing it, I can also just hand draw these probably. The stair tool makes 0 sense. It's a little bit unintuitive. I think oftentimes when I use the stair tool, I end up trying it about 2 or 3 times before I get what I want. But if you kind of commit to figuring it out, then you can get a lot of productivity out of it. I don't know. I think my choice to use the stair builder kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, because sometimes I just like the tedium of hand drawing things and just allowing myself to kind of meditate along the process, I guess. So I've never been super obsessive over my actual productivity when it comes to mapping. I just try to make sure that I generally am making progress. Like these. Yeah, okay, that's good. This inset texture is going to be something else too, but I do like the dark contrast. So, you know what actually would look cool? Alternating. That's a cheap and easy way to get these to look good, is just alternate between light and dark. So we'll get this marble and then the white marble. And boom, boom. And vice versa. I might change that, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to go with for the time being. Poilapan. Hope I'm saying that name. How goes the mapping? It seems to be going well so far. I'm kind of getting into a flow now. I'm handling the detailing. The geometry and the thing placement were handled by other members of this project that I am working with. I don't know if I want to make these. Yeah, that's not even. Okay, I'm trying to. These aren't going to be perfect, and I don't think it's going to be that noticeable if they're not perfect, but they do need to be kind of close to uniform. If they look too hand-drawn, it will stand out. So I do need to make sure this looks slightly good. I also try to change the size of the grid as little as possible. I really don't like going into these finer grid sizes. I think that it just starts making alignment way more of a pain in the ass, and the node builder starts misbehaving a lot more frequently. And again, that's just kind of hitting upon that slightly like diminishing return point. So I guess if I wanted this to be 32, it can come out to here. This is also 32. All right, I'm going to redraw this. Where was 32 at? It's right here, of course. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to need to do that again. There we go. Is that 32? Okay, perfect. Most of these are uniform. Wait a minute. Why is that? How did I mess that one up? And this one. Okay, there we go. Imperfections can cascade as well. Yeah, you know, it's like a, shooting a rocket at the moon. It's like at the very beginning of the process, if you're off by an inch, then by the time you get to the moon, you'll be off by like 100 million miles or something. So when you're mapping, I like to make sure that I'm beginning the process with at least a reasonably solid basis, so that if I start to get a little bit sloppy towards the end, it compounds a lot less. Yeah, see, that's only 15. That's like half the width of the preceding ones. Is that big of a deal? Oh, these are 16 down at the bottom. Oops. All right, I can fix that. That'll be easy to fix. Just go ahead and make this. Yeah, if you'll notice that if you start at the bottom, it's 16 wide, and then you get to the top and it's 32 wide. That looks a little bit weird. It's like, why did the stair trim get chunky all of a sudden? I'm just going to draw these inside and then merge the outside texture. I mean, this interior sector like this. And then I'll just need to reposition that a little bit. Yeah, okay, and then this one. I always hate it when there's like, that's just going to pop up there, even though that makes it now less than a perfect angle. And this one actually needs to come in a little bit, but that should be somewhat simple. Just drag these in a smidge. It's 12. Okay, that's a little too close. What is this? That's 15. Okay, so that's 15, and this needs to be a little straighter. That seems wrong. All right, let me make this. Let me bring this in a little bit more. There we go. All right, cool. That'll work. Sweet. I'm into it. And then I can, I'm going to put a lot more detail. Of course, when I actually get to detailing the walls, there's going to be a lot more going on with the textures here. I'm going to kind of go for definitely a more over-detailed than less detailed approach to this. And I'll definitely do a lot of different lighting and stuff, but I'm gonna save a lot of that for last. Starting the map in no monsters mode. I mean, then it's like you have to go into the game settings and stuff like that and change the launch parameters, and I just don't really care all that much. It takes me. I can literally type the TNTM command in less time than it takes me to open a menu in Doom Builder. You can do that in editor. I mean, like, what do I have to go to game preferences or configurations or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. Oh, additional parameters. I can just type no monsters or whatever. Yeah, I don't really care. That's good to know. I probably will use that at some point. All right, now what do I want to do next? Do I want to keep building this outside detail? Because I was kind of getting interested in that. And then I think I'm going to try to incorporate the outdoors, at least maybe via a window of some kind, all throughout this, since there's really nothing behind it except my control sector, which I can move anywhere. And this just here is a placeholder. The skill level with the dead cat goes, yeah. Oh, interesting. I did not actually know that. Wait a minute. Did I know? That's probably something I discovered like way back in the day and then immediately tucked away into like forget it forever land. That sounds like something that I would do. Okay, so where do I want to start drawing this outdoor sector? I always do struggle a little bit with drawing areas outside of the current part of the map and then bringing it into the map. So I'm just going to do this for now, and then I'll just allow this to reposition. Just start with this, and then we'll do some random jagged scenery. And now we have an outside. Just bring that in here. I also decided, I thought I was going to set this map like at dusk or something, but I'm going to make it brighter outside because I don't think the textures are super flattering when they're like really dim. Like this should be like 192. You didn't know you could rotate the grid. Well, you know, they make you bind it to a key. It's not bound to anything by default. And hello, Andrew Krachowski? I'm going to butcher people's names, so let's just accept that. Oh, Autumn Fallen. I didn't see you were in here. Krachowski. Oops. I keep dragging the damn... I don't know why I keep doing that when I go to click it to bring it back into the active window. Okay, let me get back to what was I doing? I'm drawing the outdoors now. And trying to figure out how I'm going to tie it into the detail here. All right, let's make... Do I want to make this a sector? I want to make this a sector so that I can then turn it into a wall. And then... Let's see, so this is the barrier that lowers. So this is part of the wall. Okay, so this can just be a straight... This can be a straight line. Second. I'm going to delete that because actually I need this to be a sector and this to be a void. And I'll figure out... I need to readjust these all. Okay, now this is going to come up. Oops. I love how whimsical this track is. It's just one of the most ridiculous songs to blow away demons to. You know what? I think I need to double check this. I need to rethink this for a second. What am I doing? I want maybe trees to be here. I'm not totally sure. Okay, I kind of have an idea. Turn off the floor. It's making it too hard to see. Actually, yeah, I'll just turn this off for a minute. All right, I have an idea for what I'm doing, but I'm having trouble making it be a thing. All right, you know what? I'm gonna Control Z all this stuff. I need to back up and take a second look at this. Okay. This is the part where I literally do just sit and stare for a few minutes. So this is tree. I think this could be cool if it was like tree behind it. There's a way that like make the cyber demon come out of a tree at the end. Would that be kind of neat? Like if the tree kind of extended past this barrier and like into this room. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe overthinking it. What I know I want is that when this wall lowers to open this monster trap, that this is an outside area. And I know that I want it to connect to this so that this all looks like just one nice outside area. I don't know how I want this space to incorporate into that, if at all. And where the cyber demon comes out of the trap, I want to mostly leave that alone in terms of how it behaves. This is that constraint part of the mapping process that makes it really interesting. Because if this was my map, I probably would have been at a point where I was designing this just a little bit differently to allow for the accommodation of what I'm trying to do here. But I appreciate that it doesn't just let me do whatever I want. Teleport trap right next to the trees thing placement. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just join these together because I know I want this barrier to lower. Does it raise? Oh, it's a door, right. It's also kind of interesting reverse engineering a map that I didn't make just a smidgen to understand what it's doing. Okay, so the monsters come out of this trap, but I also do not... I guess there's no reason to not let the player go out here. That could be kind of neat. I didn't really want to make a ton of material changes to the gameplay or the flow of the map, but I don't feel like that would be too out of pocket to do that in this case for the monster closet. So I'm going to do... let's just shoot big for this idea for a second. Oh, shit. I hate when I do that. That happens to me all the time. I need to bring it back in, and then I need to trace this line as well so it knows to close a loop and draw a sector here. Now we're cooking. All right, I'm going to come down this way. So this is now the exterior of this building. So we're just going to mark that off with the exterior texture. This is going to be all rock. Or it might be tree. This might be tree, but whatever it is, it's nature. Oh yeah, this sick track from Eternity 2. If any of you are Jimmy fans, this track it's called Gigantonaut, and it's basically like a reimagining of the Astral Dreadnought song that's like overplayed because everybody picks it for their WOD. Jimmy said in Discord that it was like a do-over of this song, being able to write it at the skill level that he now possesses. To paraphrase a little bit. Thought that was a neat little bit of trivia. I don't have a lot of trivia. This is not a trivia stream or anything, but this is going to be a little waterfall in a pond. All right, this needs to be some kind of dirt texture because it just breaks the verisimilitude too much. Even though I know I'm blocking this out. All right, so then this is going to be like a ridge. Most of this is going to be word I learned from Mount Pain 27. I swear to God, I have learned multiple words from watching Dean of Doom. I think the one that most notably comes to mind is the word perfunctory. Verisimilitude is basically the sense of realness or authenticity in a piece of fiction. Like if you were watching Star Wars and Luke Skywalker's aunt had busted out a box of like fucking cornflakes or something, that would have like taken you out of the moment. You would have been like, wait a minute, this is like a science fiction world, and now all of a sudden they're eating like stuff that I recognize. Unless it was part of the greater lore, that would have broken the immersion, that would have compromised the verisimilitude. Domain and Azure from Ramiro-esque names. Yeah, I don't think I'd... So domain is, I think, maybe an antiquated form of the word domain. So I'm not totally sure, but I believe that fits maybe into the etymology of the word. When I'm too lazy to bring up the texture picker, I just go to another part of the map and I swipe it. Another thing I like to do is when textures of different types meet each other, I like to make sure that there's like a little indentation. And that looks like it makes a lot more sense. Perfunctory is Okay, I don't know the textbook definition. Perfunctory is basically something that's done like as part of like just ticking a series of arbitrary boxes. So like if you're making a megawad and you really only had ideas for like 25 maps, and then you were like, well, every megawad has to have 32 maps. I guess I'll just, you know, crap out something for the other maps. You could, I believe that you would consider those like perfunctory, like it was part of the, you know, going through the motions, or only doing it because it was an expected part of the process. Cool. I don't think this is going to be, like, this could be a neat secret maybe, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to put anything here unless... It could be cool to have a couple of monsters outside that shoot at you while you're coming up these stairs, maybe? I didn't account for the change in elevation. So I need to decide, do I want the windows down here and they don't exist up higher, or do I want them up high and you can't see out of them down here? Because I think what makes the most sense is, well, you know, I can offset the windows. They don't have to be the same height. So let's do this. 16. What? All right. So what is the width of the trim pieces out here? These are all 16, right? Okay, we'll make these 16. Give them an armor bonus and call it a day. I do like that kind of little move. I think one time in one of the maps I made, I didn't want to make the thing a secret. It was like a little tiny corner that I knew that somebody looking for anything would go back and probably poke their nose into. And I put like 1 health bonus back there just so that you would have something that you found and it was not marked as a secret. Also because it was the end of the map, so a secret was kind of pointless. I don't know if I like that brown marble. I don't think I like it that much at all. Let's go back. Let's go to the black marble. Let's see. Right. There's just not a lot of variety of the marble textures in this set, in the colors that I want. There's plenty of them in the really bright Valentine's colors. All right, I'm just going to go back to that really dark one that I had a second ago. Just leave that for now. I think maybe I want this to alternate as well. I'm pretty sure there's a way to only select these textures and not these, but I do not know what the hotkey for that is, so I'm just going to be slow. Your onion is pulsating. It's undulating to the sound of my voice. Oh, I doubled these up. Ah, fiddlesticks. Says I'm playing Minecraft. Might as well be. Now, if I want to get super detailed with this, when I do the lighting, I'm going to have lights come in here. But I am a little bit worried at how messy it's going to get with all these vertices and lines kind of already condensed around. I'm going to need to get up and refill my water in a minute, but I'm going to give it a second. Oh, you know what? I should do it on this line. I love this song. This one's so good. Oops, I should not have unrotated the grid. That's what I was trying to undo, and I realized you can't undo rotating the grid. Hydration retention, yeah. Water check. Water check for everybody. It's the last time you had a sip of water. Just go ahead and take care of yourself there. It keeps resetting all my textures. It's going to be kind of tricky to make these borders fit, isn't it? Get orange juice? Crazy? Drinking orange juice before bed, man. You brush your teeth really well. Oh yeah, here's the one. This Eschel foursome. Eschel foursome track. This one's a real crowd pleaser. Rotating the grid looks sacrilegious. In a way, it is kind of blasphemous because it irritates the node builder very quickly. You are playing with fire if you just indiscriminately move all kinds of vertices that are not on the actual default grid. I might have to rethink this border. Or for now, I'm gonna externalize the solution to that problem to future me. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to maintain this trap. But I kind of want to have a window here. Maybe I'll be all right if I don't put a window there. I could make this wall a window. So I just need to extend the boundaries of this a little bit. Pass the buck on down to the living dead that's not had his water. You're right. I've drank an entire glass of water and it's empty now. So, all right, I'm gonna go get refill my water. I'll be back in a minute. Here you go. We'll be right back, folks. I'll leave the music playing so you can continue to jam out. Okay. I returned. In some parts of Canada to get snow. I mean, I don't know if that's like a thing that's you should just expect all the time, but it seemed like it was somewhat of an event. So the trick is, I'm not going to get even distances for the trim pieces easily with the shape that this stuff is in. Oop. Cars being buried in snow up to the tires. That fucking sucks. I like snow. I don't like snow like that, though. But I've also never had to go through anything like that, so... Nothing quite that crazy. We've had some decent snows, but... those days are probably long gone. Well, if you move farther south, it's just raining all the time. So... it sucks no matter what. Cruise ships cooking. Interesting. That sounds like something that would get exhausting after a while, but I bet, like, you could find a way to make it really enjoyable for a little bit. As long as you do it, like, without getting too burnt out on it. Your family has to tunnel out the door. That's just wild to me. All right, I'm starting to like the way this looks. I feel like it's about time to look at it in the editor. I'm gonna go at it a little bit longer, or in the game, but I'm gonna go at it a little bit longer because I do want to figure out. So I think this needs to be stairs, so I shouldn't have drawn a shadow all the way to this yet. This is going to be stairs. So we'll do it like... be stairs all the way across this way. Or, rock, I should say. PvP enabled zone. Yeah, outdoor section. I started just for the detailing, and then I realized I kind of liked it, so I'm just kind of fleshing it out, and then I might put a few... I'm thinking about putting some imps perched up here, or maybe some shotgunners or something, since this hallway is really kind of low on threats, and since you come up here to get the BFG, I feel like having something between you and the top of the hallway is not a bad idea, even if it's nothing super major. Could be a decent idea to put a monster here too, but I'm not at that point yet. All right. Also, I don't think I want all of this to be rock. I want this to be grass, because now I have an opportunity to use some of these cool tree things that are in this pack. A lot of stuff. Pink burning barrel. I don't know if that's going to fit the vibe of this map, but maybe I can find a way to incorporate it somewhere. I like this one here, of course. Oh, just some regular bushes. That's not a stalagmite at all. And some random pillars that, I don't know, they're somewhat charming, but I think that the realism just clashes a little bit too much. I just can't do it. The revs will be giving chase. They could. I guess it depends on if you go this way. Like, I think when I play tested your map, I'm pretty sure I think I got the rocket launcher first, wherever that is. It's the crossbow. So I think I went this way, and I think I came back through the map and I got the BFG before I got all the keys. So I'd actually already killed the revenants. Could do some rocks with odd sectors mashed together. Yeah, I'm going to keep fleshing this out so that there's a lot more rocks out here. Stalactites and stalagmites, it just refers to which ones form on either the floor or the ceiling of the cave. Stalactites are the ones that form from the ceiling. Stalagmites are the ones that form in the floor. Listen, man, I learned that from Magic School Bus, like all the way back in the day, and I've never forgotten it. You can't bamboozle me with that. What makes this a Valentine's map? So it's for the Project Doomworld Dating Simulator, and basically the premise is that you just make a map with somebody else. You find somebody from the community that you want to make a map with, and you ask them if they would like to make a map with you. Will you be my mapping Valentine this year? And if that person says yes, or that group of people says yes, because we don't discriminate on the number, then you make a map together, and then you submit that for the project. And that's kind of what's going on here. So Sneezy McGlassface drew the geometry, and then Beetbeard did the thing placement and basically the progression design, and I'm doing all the detailing. And it uses a special set of assets that's based on the Lover's Quarrel asset pack that was one of the Puss projects last year. Was their Valentine's Day mapping project. So I'll show off some stuff in the game, actually. Many of the monsters have been replaced, but all the colors, of course, are kind of... There's a lot of color replacements. The shotgun has the bow on it. The rocket launcher is the crossbow from Heretic, except it's basically like Cupid's crossbow. I'm going to IDKFA myself the weapons. The plasma gun shoots hearts, which is my personal favorite detail. And there's some other stuff too, but you know, just like also the assets are all pink and there's hearts and stuff like that, and all kinds of cool little stuff everywhere. So I'll just kill all these monsters real fast, since I have not looked at this in the editor or in the game since like right when I started. This is so Valentine's, it's gross. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, so, you know, that's why there's like pink and bright stuff everywhere, because I just want to take full advantage of it while I have the opportunity. Yeah, that tree looks really nice there. I'm going to need to make these impassable so we can't travel through them. Although, one thing I can do, so this is MBF 21, so technically one thing I can do is I can make this impassable to ground and players, but passable to flying, so you could not exit it, but the Cacodemon could come in it. I don't think that's really necessary, but could do that. That'd be neat. Yeah, so then this trap springs. Oh, and I guess I broke it, so it doesn't open. But you come out here, and nice. This will look nice when I finish detailing it. Doom Scholar Master Levels episode. So, I think I'm gonna kind of. Well, I don't want to say a whole lot. I am thinking about Doom Scholar. I have a couple of script ideas in mind, and I think, I guess, as an early teaser, I'm gonna probably do it on Ultimate Doom, which I have some ideas about. And you have questions about. If you have questions about why I'm not going to do master levels, like it implies at the end of the Doom Scholar video, I cannot answer that. I'll have to. You'll have to wait on the answer to that. But I've also been like kind of working on the idea on and off for like almost a year, because I also was thinking about doing one for a WOD that I really like. Is probably one of my favorite ones. And my playlist on this features a lot of music from that WOD. But I just kind of couldn't find a way to get it flowing. Need a few more layers of stairs. Let's do one like here. The tree is clipping? Oh, it sure is. Good eye. I can honestly probably... I wonder, can I get away with just raising... Because I actually like the height of the building. And I like the height of these trees. I don't really want these trees to be a whole lot higher, but I do need to probably make them go higher. Let's see. I mean, I can... I don't know what I'm saying. I know I can make the trees height less and still make that work. Will you see it? Sometimes, if the player can't see, then it's good. I don't think you can see that. So that should work. All right, cool. Also, this needs to be bright, I think. Probably worry about the brightness and stuff later. These are all really weird shapes right now. I mean, even for rocks. That's stuff I touch up a lot later. Cool. You can put things in a 1 pixel area sector and sync it. Huh. I've never done that. That's actually a good idea. Would it look weird if the rock was hanging over? This doesn't really seem like that kind of area where there would be like overhanging rock, but maybe it would look neat. Oh, that fucks up the ceiling. So it would make more sense for it to, oops, to come up like this. Here we go. I'm trying to decide precisely how I want grass to be in this area. And if I want the water to run off at all. It's totally not that important of a detail at all, but I'm just kind of really leaning into excessively detailing this. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite piece of television ever. Yeah, I'd say Cowboy Bebop is easily in. I don't know if it's like top 5, top 10, top 3. I'm not, haven't really sat and thought about that in a long while, but it's something that would come to mind every single time I'm asked that question, like without any hesitation. Yeah, I got to impress your Valentine. That's right. You don't show up to a Valentine's date just like dragging your sorry ass in from the rain, man. You gotta put on your best. You gotta get dressed up to the nines, or put on your best and really make something of it. I don't care if it's overly commercialized or not. It's an excuse to put some effort into an aspect of your life. Heffert, ew. There. I didn't really like the ceiling behind the trees being super tall. That can be dark up there. Not super dark, but it can be darker. And now I think this should be, yeah. That's weird. Where is that? There we go. Oh, now I have to make these actually lower and pegged. Cool. I honestly was just flood filling all the rock earlier, but I kind of like that it's just simple contrast with the rest of the scene to kind of break it up. All right, now let me think about how I want the grass to grow here. Let me just start by making all of this grass. It's probably the easiest thing to do. This is an area where there's tall obstructions that don't allow it to get a lot of light, so it would probably actually be really patchy if I was being realistic about it. Ooh, before I forget though, because I will forget. What is it called? I don't know what it's called. Yes, midgrass. I always forget to use midgrass when I have a set that uses that has it. Oop, I need to make that unpegged. Unpegged. Ah, yes, midgrass. This grass is straight up mids, bro. Oh, I need to make these like actually the right length though. Wait, what? One's missing. Oh. Huh. Is it something you can tell? I don't think you can really tell that they're not the right length, can you? Seems like it needs to be spaced apart further. A little bit of pegging on Valentine's Day never hurt anyone? It sure doesn't. Do I want any of the grass in the water? Does that sound like it makes sense? I don't know if I want it to run along the contour of the shore either. I feel like I kind of do. Does it make sense to have the grass in the water or outside of the water? If I'm going for a wetlandish look. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because if it's in this like rocky ridge type of area, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to have the grass in the water. If only it wasn't so tall. Are there any other grass mid-textures? There's actually a lot of things. There's this really like sparse one. That would look really good just with any kind of contour probably. Maybe I'll try again. Maybe I'll delete these and try again with a different texture and see. Do like a few different. I've never actually really used these mid textures for this purpose before, so I'm kind of figuring out how it feels the right way to do it. Oh yeah, there we go. Probably not perfect yet, but should have the lines parallel to the windows so the grass is maximally visible. I think they'll be noticeable through the windows, but also I'm going to plan on allowing it so you can get down there when this trap opens up. Ah, crap. No, I don't know which ones I just drew and which ones already had the texture on them, so I just need to select all of them. Oops. Come on. It's risky selecting all this many lines at once, and then you misselect something and you have to start over. Oh. Oops. It's looking pretty swampy. Yeah, I don't really want it to look like a swamp. This track has me like feeling really motivated. It's weird. Like I'm in a montage or something. I don't know. I don't think it's quite there yet. I'm going to just chill on that idea, though. Sometimes I like to just leave something alone and come back to it later. That's how I had the epiphany about this whole thing. I just realized, you know what? Let me just make this a window, and then it kind of spawned the idea of, well, let's just make a lot of outside of this map. And now I say, I've spent over half the time in this session doing just this, which didn't exist before I started. Honestly, I could, depending on the map that I was going for, I could honestly just stop with this and feel pretty satisfied with it, besides like texture touch-ups and stuff like that. I love me some imp window dressing. That's not a dirty word in my house. Okay, now I need to make sure that these monsters, I think, are they set to ambush? Because if they are, I don't need to do anything else. Yeah, I'll just set these to ambush. Question though. Okay, you know, I mean, the whole thing is you get the BFG and then you just blow these guys away instantly. I'm gonna put the pain elemental behind the cacodemons. Actually, I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't think it matters all that much. I don't want the... They're going to all die so fast. I just want to make sure that all the monsters can see without being seen outside the window before this trap opens. And then this was 7. And then why did this not work earlier? Something about this made the door break. Oh, wait a minute. Because originally it was a door and I raised it to the ceiling for some reason. Just kind of absent-mindedly. I do need to make this look halfway decent, though. So, to me, that means this needs to be a wall. This can be a tree. Okay. Oh. Be careful. I want all this marble to line up along the same offset along the whole thing on both sides. It might not, or does it? Does it actually line up? Sick, it actually lines up all the way across. But I'm going to change this to something else. Even putting down little pockets of the map and hitting them later is good. Yeah, that's kind of how I like to bounce around between stuff, and when I get a little fatigued on any one component, I mess around with something else for a while just to kind of keep things interesting. Is that going to look okay, or is that going to look kind of weird? That might be something else. I don't know. I'm going to leave that alone for now. These guys are all facing the wrong direction. Wait, are they? Why? Cacodines are like missing frames or something. I don't understand what's going on. Why they won't rotate to face the door. That's weird. Oh shit. I just realized. I had top chat on instead of live chat the whole time. I wonder if I've been missing stuff. Cool. Alright, yep. I'm liking the way this looks so far. Go ahead and draw the shadows in just to kind of start tying it together a little bit. There needs to be a shadow here. Yeah, those are not all the same length. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, here we go. Is this 128? Do I want that 128? Or would it look better as 144? This is probably 128 because it's in the shadow of the waterfall. But I don't really know where the sun is in this in this area, so... Okay, and then I want a lighter shadow along the outline of the building. Although I guess it'll look a little bit weird because if I have... Also, that shadow's not nearly tall enough, I don't think. I might delete that, but... It wouldn't make sense for light to come in through the window, but also for there to be a shadow on the outside of the wall. So that actually maybe doesn't make any sense to do that. So I'll just undo it. I'll just do that all over again. Still need to figure out how this Cyber Demon closet's going to work. That's probably something I'm going to need to think about a little bit. I have some ideas, but I'm just not entirely sure what's going to be practical. So, okay. I made a lot of progress on this so far. I could totally leave this the way that it is and it would be pretty good, but I'll allow myself to come back and detail it as I get any kind of inspiration for it. And then I think what I'm going to do is spend a little bit of time detailing this, maybe just a little bit of preliminary stuff, and then I'll probably start wrapping it up just because it's getting to be almost 11 o'clock, but I can map for just a little bit longer. So I think for one thing, I'm just going to continue to use these pink borders as little pillars. Wait a minute, do I want these to go with the stairs? Because one thing I just didn't think about was the fact that the stairs themselves are not equidistant in depth. So if I do the pillars at the stairs, then it's gonna just look uneven. It's probably a way to make it work, but what I'm curious about is this is 512, so that's a divisible length. So I just need to break this up into equal portions. 256 and 256 here. So I do this, one of these is going to be not 256. So this one is now 240. To make this one 240 would be to put this here. And I don't want to double up on the border texture here, so... Definitely an opportunity to explore some of the other textures I haven't really looked at yet that are on the same theme. I know this is not even right now. All right, Shadesman, thanks for stopping by. Just pondering this a little bit. $80 and 64. Make this 64 and this texture fits all of a sudden. Also, I liked, but I didn't love this texture repeated. But it has some, you know what? It has potential as a compound texture. So if I do... Let's see, what is it called? Here we go. I do this one in the middle. And then I can find something really stark. It really irritates me that for the black textures, I mean, unless they're just not called marb, that could be also MR. Yeah, see, there's a marble MR. But I think that's it for the marble textures, the black one. I want something that has a cool pattern on it, like the pink textures. That's what makes projects like this challenging, is when the texture set has, you know, incongruent variations of different textures and different colors or other types of variations. You know, you're like, oh, I want to just have all the, you know, I want to make the visuals be like just the pattern, the colors alternate. And then you realize there's not like a commensurate color of, or texture of like this alternate color that, you know, matches one in the first color that you're using in a different part of the map. You're like, okay, I have to do something else now. Do we want to go for stark bathroom chic? I actually kind of like that. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oop. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. This is onto something right here. And then... Oh, where's my alignment? There we go. Come on. Ah, there we go. Okay, now I see what's going on. Yeah. Now I'm starting to wish that this was like a cleaner white color instead of having the green marbling. But I'm gonna... That's being like overly obsessive at this point. I don't think these are good alternatives. I think these textures look off. Unless... Okay, hold on. Yeah, there's no way. That doesn't even look close to as good. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. I can do that on the interior here. Actually, I needed to decide the borders first. Oh, I thought it... Oh, weird. It's bothering me that this... I guess that lines up. It just looks awkward. So a border where... Okay, so the black texture will be on this side and the pink texture will be on this side. Is that noticeable? I don't think that's going to be noticeable. Is that too much? I feel like it's not too much, but it could be. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror this onto this side. And probably along here as well. And all the way up to the BFG. Looking good. Damn. I can't do Duke Nukem's voice. You kidding me? Come on. Think I'm fooling anyone? Now, do I want... I don't think I want this on each panel, but I need it where every time the wall changes shape. I think we'll make it look... I think it will make it look good. Okay. $13 or $21 or... Is that how I did it on this side? I had it on both sides on this one too. Oop. Okay. Just trying to make sure that this is... Here it is. Okay. Right, that all matches. Okay, good. Yeah, you got the deep voice for a good Duke impression. Dark Pulse. Ah, fuck. Could delete this. Crisis averted. Nice. I mean, this is like really detailed now at this point, but this is like if Man with Gun made a Valentine's Day map. How many line deaths we got? 1108? That's pathetic. We can keep pushing it. Those are rookie numbers. Not enough hexagons for Man with Gun. Is that his... That, you know what? That actually could totally be his mapping calling card. Hexagons. I never really thought about that before, but I think you're onto something. Nice. What is this? What is this here for? This is pointless. Okay. Oop. This needs to be 16, not 8. Oop. Yeah, I can tell I'm getting tired. I'm starting to make little sleight of hand mistakes. And of course, I stop talking a lot when I'm tired. So once I get this side of the wall drawn and then I poke around it for just a second, I'm gonna call the stream. Want that to be on this level? Yeah, I think so. these don't really need to be upper and lower and pegged. It matches. Sick. This fountain is just a placeholder for now. And this has geometry that I need to fix. I actually realized that I'm the one who made it messed up in the first place. Absent-mindedly. And then I immediately tried to correct it, but I couldn't do it because I was starting to get cross-eyed. I need to go back and fix that. But this is starting to look pretty cool, I think. I mean, this is super over the top visually. I think what I'm going to do is I'm tempted to, but not completely set on maybe using like a mid texture in here for bars or something. But I'm definitely going to block these so that the player can't go through it. And then I think I'm gonna make border textures on this side. Of course, I can't do it here, so it'll give it away that it's a trap. Then I need to figure out this. And then, yeah, that looks a little bit janky that that's a upper unpegged. Yeah, you can come out here. I like this. It's kind of like super high fidelity Valentine's Day knee deep in the dead. Oh, that's a little odd. That's going to have to be fixed. You see that outdoor area with the soul sphere? You can go to it. Sweet. Also, I need to do the lighting in the staircase, so you can just imagine that in the interior of the staircase it's going to be fairly dim, and then I'll just have some lights going along this way with probably some nice hard shadows. Knee deep in Valentine's bush. Soul sphere. The boy's soul sphere is mine. That's what I always think of when I see the word soul sphere. Sick. I'm liking the way this is looking for sure. Not my usual theme at all. It's been very fun to play with these Valentine's textures and try to... Like, I feel like my propensity, or my, fuck. I'm having trouble thinking of the word. My techniques. I'm using all the same techniques, but just with different colors and stuff than I would normally use. But, yeah, this is pretty sick. So, I've got a lot of map left to do if I'm going to continue mapping at this pace, but I'm glad that I got a lot of notice, because I think the map's due, like, on December 12th or something. So we got to have that finished by then. And I've done the courtyard where you start and the staircase that leads up to the BFG. And there's still this whole area and this whole area, and then several closets. This is part of the progression too. You go down to this little... So this will be like a little basin type of area. And then... little exit to this trap. And I think this is going to be like a little water area too, possibly. I'm not sure. There's going to be more outside stuff. And then, yeah, that's basically the circuit of the map. So I have a lot of map left to do. But the good news is I've discovered a lot of the design language of this map now in this process of just doing these first two rooms. So when I start going into this area, like since this is a hallway, I'm going to match the visuals over onto this side. It'll be a lot easier to do it. But, you know, I'll probably find some ways to make permutations so that you can tell that you're in a distinct area of the map from the other one. But now that I've gotten that figured out, it should start fast-tracking a lot more of the other stuff that's going to be the same. Where I will lean more into variety is the areas that are... Like, this is a big area, so this is going to have its own distinct look. And then, of course, basically every area where there's a key nearby will have its own kind of distinct look, and that'll be the main part of it. But I think now that I've got, you know, basically what the hallways look like figured out, for example, that's going to make a lot of that stuff a lot faster to detail. So there you go. How do you find adding on to other people's work? And will you see each other again? I sure hope so. They're swell co-partners. It's very interesting to make additions to someone else's work, because especially with what Sneezy did with the geometry is, you know, Sneezy makes a lot of, like, I feel like Sneezy almost studies at the school of Nicholas Monty, if that makes sense, in terms of, like, you know, very hard pivot away from orthogonal shapes. And the challenge in that is that not necessarily that you're, like, you know, suddenly at a loss for 90-degree angles, but that a lot of times what ends up happening is that line defs don't end up being the lengths that make the textures repeat in the right way. And, you know, of course, the 90-degree angles can also make things challenging, but, you know, just in general, I would have made the geometry and probably spaced things differently, and that's not critical of it at all, by the way. I think that the layout that Sneezy made is actually really sick. It's giving me a lot of good inspiration, and I like the challenge of it. There's not a ton to say about what Beetbeard did, just because, you know, he put all the things, so he designed all the gameplay, but in terms of adding visuals onto it, you know, a lot of that flows out of the work that Sneezy did more than anything else. But I also am, you know, trying to be mindful of the way that the combat was already designed as when the map was given to me. And so what I don't want to do is make changes to the detailing that would have any kind of impact on that. Like in the situation out here, I want to make sure that the monster trap still works, even though these areas are connected together now, where this was just a void space before. And things like that. So it's really interesting. I'm always a big fan of constraints in the creative process, and I'll continue to say it ad nauseum, as I have already done at this point. So anytime I get a situation where it's like, here, restrict yourself to these things only in the process, I'm like, let's try it out, because it always forces you to make interesting decisions. But I could go on a long tangent about that, and I don't feel like doing it at this point. But this has been a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to try to do this tomorrow as well. And then I might do some... okay, well, not might. I'm fairly confident I'm going to stream TNT Devolution on Friday night, excuse me. Have a good one, Sandwich. And I'll try to probably stream as much of this detailing as I can as I can withstand to do it. If I get to a point where I'm just like not feeling productive because I don't want to stream, but I also don't want to not detail it while I'm not streaming, I'll probably just do that. But yeah, I'll probably try to do this a little bit, a few more times at the very least. But anyways, okay, I'm done rambling. Thanks everybody who, you know, tuned in, and I will see you again, I hope.